Okay, girlies and guys out there, I have to say, I am very emotional. This has been an incredible few hours with this woman that I admire so much. Let me interview her first and foremost. Hi, Brooke. Brooke
Hi.
Burke.
Thank you.
I don't even know how to describe you because you are multi-talented. You are an actor, TV personality, entrepreneur. You are a mother. Now I know that you are a friend.
Yes,
You are
I am a friend. I love that. That might be the most important thing you said.
Yeah, a uniter of women. You're incredible. You're a fitness guru. So first of all, thank you with all my heart because you opened up your home to us, to me and my friend Mojda, and you don't even know us. So I have to say it means the world to me. Thank you. Thank you for doing this.
Thank you for coming, for trusting me. You know, it's not easy when I open an invitation and I invite women to come and work out. You came without fear, you trusted me, I'm happy to have you in my home, and I don't think I could have described what we experienced today to you. You needed to come and bury yourself in it and immerse yourself in it, so thank you.
And
I love it.
We were saying the core of my podcast, and I keep saying that it's not a studio podcast, it's not a perfect podcast.
Good.
I insist on making an organic podcast because this is what I want to show people, like how we are in real life. And I think that's what my audience loves to see. And in today, in your case, it doesn't get more organic than this because this is your real home. You guys have to go to my social media channels, YouTube, to see the videos because you're actually allowing us. You're like, go for it. Film anything you want. Film your workout class.
I know how many people can't get here. And one of the reasons why I open up my life so completely is because I built it to share it with everyone. That's why we do Zoom and why we do digital connections, because there's so many people that want a little sneak peek that might not be able to be here in person.
Exactly.
So we create this digital opportunity. I love it.
And this is what we are. So I have to say thank you, Moj, my bestie. She's a major businesswoman, executive, owner of Priveli. Thank you for supporting the podcast. Thank you for coming with me to do this with Brooke. Before I ask you the 10 billion questions we have, I think we would need like 5 hours to cover all the questions that we have. But I want to say that I was me personally, as a woman, I always try to find women that inspire me to interview. I don't want to just interview whoever. So I try to like handpick. So I've been after you for a long time. Kat, I look at your work and it inspires me.
Thank you.
I think your journey is incredible. I think your energy is amazing. But we never know how the person is going to be when we meet them. We were talking about that coming here.
How are we doing?
Oh my God. And the minute we saw you, you feel disconnected. I think I know you. I think we're already besties. Because you have the most natural, and I'm not kidding you guys, and I'm not trying to kiss her ass. She's not paying me to say this. You have the most insane real. You're real.
Thank you.
You're real.
You know, it's kind of like at this point in life, this is me, and I remember the days, being in the industry where you're to do something like this and to have it recorded. We're like, oh my God, I need a hairdresser, I need my makeup, I need full glam, I need my like, no, this is just me and my home, and here we are sharing something that matters, that's collective energy, that's an opportunity to just get to know ourselves better, not just each other, but even ourselves. Like having you in class today, like to do nothing but just be in nature and experience something different is really what inspires me too. So
and you're super real. So let's start the journey from the beginning, and then we'll come all the way to your classes and what you do today. When I told people that I was going to interview you, obviously I'm used to getting 200, 250, 300 questions from my guests, but we got over 500 when I said it was you. So in all honesty, we didn't even have time to go through all of them because you are very loved, and Moj said the same thing. When we post and we say we're gonna talk to Brooke, people are like, wow, I want to hear a chance to say. So can you give us?
Appreciate that.
Yeah, that's really nice, right? Because you've been in this industry forever. Can you give us a little bit of the background for people that don't follow your work, that don't even know that now you're working with wellness? Let's go back to the TV days a little bit. Are you game?
Yeah, no, I'm gonna see how I can fast track this. It's been a real journey. It's been a pivot. It's been a lot of things. I don't know. I guess if I could give you a 2-minute summary. Started out as a model. I was never quite tall enough to really make it as a model. I was that girl that was always stretching and trying to pretend like I was 5'8" and faking it all the way. But I did a little bit of kind of body work, health and wellness space in the modeling world. Segued that into commercial work, studied broadcast journalism. I always wanted to be a businesswoman. I studied business advertising. I really thought that was my avenue, and accidentally got into the modeling industry, started doing commercials, and then went on my first big audition for E! Entertainment to host Wild On. I didn't know the show. I didn't have any experience. I was very green. I was still in school. I took that one meeting. Some of the best advice that was ever given to me was like, take that meeting. And it was super casual. I like showed up in a pair of jeans and wasn't manifesting anything at that time in my life. And I ended up getting this gig to host a show back in the day called Wild On. That took me around the world to 40 countries. It was amazing.
Oh, cool.
And I always loved to travel. I always had a zest for life. So I kind of learned that gig on the road. Got pregnant as soon as I signed my deal with E! Yeah. And I was hired like to be the bikini girl on the road hosting this really sexy television show.
Did they fire you?
Well, they couldn't. Remember, like at that time, being a woman, you in the entertainment business, you couldn't not support the evolution of life. So I remember with my tail between my legs going into my executive producer's office, being young, inexperienced, and I just signed the gig of my lifetime. And I had to walk in there and go, guys, I'm going to throw a curveball at you, but it's going to be okay. Blah, blah, blah. They supported it. I took my daughter on the road, and we did 40 countries in 2 years together. Wow. New mom, a zest for life, totally adventurous, had my baby, brought my baby with me. I was crazy looking back at it now, but we did it. And then that slowly transitioned to some other gigs. I hosted Rockstar, then I went on to dance and then Dancing with the Stars.
Yeah, we have to talk about that.
Crazy.
A lot of questions, if you're okay.
Yeah, totally.
Again, we didn't plan anything like always. We don't script. If we ask anything, then we're going to talk about just like,
I'm pretty much an open
But
book.
obviously a lot of questions about Dancing with the Stars because number one, you won Dancing with the Stars. You're a winner. That's crazy, crazy hard. And it was back then when it was like, I think the top show on TV.
Or there was a season when we had 20 million viewers.
Right.
I mean, it was like American Idol. If we can go back in time, there were two like great shows, Bachelor. It was terrifying, challenging, insightful, life-changing. It was basically all the life lessons crammed into the ballroom. And I never thought I could win. I never thought I would win. I didn't go in there insecure. I just was on a mission as a host to be a competitor so that I could sort of open up my life to a different audience. You know, as a host, which I love doing live television, you sort of have a script, you're limited, it's live, you know, you're following a script. This was a real opportunity to sort of show up really vulnerable and revealing, and I had no idea how hard it would be. I had no idea how terrifying it would be.
Did you have the dancing background at all?
I never studied dance. I love to dance and I have rhythm, but I as far as choreography and skill and talent goes, not at all. So I, as a testament to commitment, I think I worked harder. I think I could say that without insulting anyone. I think I probably worked harder than anyone else because it was 7 days a week. I had a new baby. I had my son, my third child, who was 3 months old. I was in a hormonal roller coaster. I didn't have a dance background. I was scared shitless. But I showed up every day and worked really hard and found faith in my own body. And I learned how to surrender. I learned how to surrender to fear. I learned how to count on the experience and the time that I put in, and then just sort of let everything go.
Yeah. And your partner was Derek, and he's an incredible artist, right? He's an incredible
artist. He was in his early 20s, and I always tease him because he was like this little punk at the time. He hadn't won a Mirabelle trophy yet. I didn't know shit about dancing. And together we were just like, you know what, we're committed, we're gonna dive into this, we're gonna give it all we've got. We're gonna outwork everyone, and we're gonna just tell our story. Like, that's what dance is, really. It's a narrative with your body, right? It's an intimate dancing story. Anyway, it was amazing that I made it as far as I did, and even more amazing that I won.
You won.
And one of the greatest accomplishments ever. And not because it was like a dance competition show, because it showed me 7 days a week in 3 months you can learn how to do anything.
If you put your mind
you can learn how to
into
do
it,
anything.
right?
I mean, honestly, think about us as women. How many things we're like, oh, I'd love to go take that class. Oh, I'd love to get a culinary degree. Oh, one day I'm going to go to Africa. Oh, once upon a time. But we don't.
Right.
Because we think we can't.
Yes.
Or there's all these things standing in our way.
Yes.
I had 4 children.
Wow.
I was in a 7-day-a-week commitment to this show where life sort of stopped and stood still. And I did it. So, major.
Yeah.
Shia was 3 months old, so I was bringing my baby with me. Yeah, it was crazy.
Well, obviously you're living proof, and this is one of the things that I admire about you so much, that you're insanely disciplined. You put your mind into something and you get it done. And this is what we're trying to tell people out there, because like we were saying a little bit, because before we started the podcast, many times now with social media, it's multiplied by millions and millions and millions. People out there see a celebrity, like they see you on TV, and yeah, the TV only shows the beautiful part, right? The dress and the makeup and the hair. They don't see the sweat and tears and the rehearsal and the shit and the crap.
We wish life was a dress rehearsal.
Right. Yeah, like you said, they all show up like, hi, look at me, I'm perfect. But yeah, people have this image many times of celebrities. Oh, this is unattainable. She's rich. She has 10 million nannies. She doesn't have to do anything. It's easy for her. But it's not like that, right? You gotta put a lot of work into it.
It's not like that. It's not like that. And I celebrate the woman whose life is like that too, by the way. Like I come into my connection with women with no judgment. Like I don't care what it takes to run your life and raise your family. You got to do it with freedom and without judgment. For me, it's not like that. And it's that story and that possibility that, was that my mom? Oh, my mom's calling me. Sorry, Mom. She'll call back. I love my mom. It starts with my mom. I have an amazing mom. It's not like that, but I have to deal with that, you know, and I have to deal with that in the industry, all the criticism, and I don't even lean into it. You know what I mean? Like I know what works for me and my family here, and I believe in hard work and grit and hustle, and I also believe in dreams, you know, and I believe in making those commitments to yourself as a woman. I did more as a mother than I did before I was a mom, and I work with so many different women, young women, older women, women that are redesigning their lives, women who are Billy, that's my other girl.
That's her
my other dog. Go lay down. Women that are redesigning their life. Women that are stuck in the what now, the shoulda, coulda, woulda.
Just do it. Just do it. Yeah. We're laughing because her dog is like walking around, dancing around, in love with Mosh. Yeah. So you win Dancing with the Stars. Then they made you the invitation to be the host of the show. Right after you
They
won?
were casting the host. And they interviewed and auditioned every single female host. Every single female woman in the industry who wasn't a host. I'm talking country music artists to hosts to athletes. I mean, you name it. Everybody wanted this gig because it was the most watched show on television. It was ABC. It was glamorous. You got to dress up like a princess in the ball. It was live.
And your dresses, I have to make a parenthesis. I rarely watch TV, but back then I used to watch more TV because I was married. I had free time and money, and now I don't. Not like the Brooke artist. But anyhow, I used to watch it, and I used to like, mostly because of the dresses.
Yeah, it was
because it was like a dream. It was, like,
it was so glamorous.
The dresses on this woman. She's so fucking
it was a dream gig to be a princess. Thank you. And the bomb. I had a great stylist. I have diamonds and stilettos and fashion.
Insane. It was like Cinderella.
It was like Cinderella.
Yeah.
But I will keep it real and share that everybody auditioned for this gig, and because I had won and because I was a host, the executive team and producers said, you know, you don't need to audition. We know who you are and we know your skill set. And I thought, I want to audition. And they're like, wait, what? And I said, no, I want to audition.
Really?
I want to audition because I know what, in my business, it's a chemistry test, right? So you might be the greatest podcaster of all time. So if I'm producing a podcast show, what if all of a sudden I meet somebody else and my whole creative brain shifts as a producer? I kind of knew that in the producer world, the behind the scenes world of making a television deal. So I said, I want to audition. And they were like, why, Brooke, you don't really need to do that. And I said, I want to audition so that you see what Tom and I look like on camera and it's not beneath me, and just let me audition. I don't think I would have got the gig if I didn't audition.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Because it was that moment of being on tape with a partner, and bringing that energy to life. And Tom Bergeron was an unbelievable partner, no ego. He was so wise and seasoned and talented. and he really gave me a space to come in and showcase my own talents. You and I were talking about that earlier. Not everybody knows how to be a partner. A lot of women in our world don't know how to be a partner.
Unfortunately,
There's a lot of ego. There's a lot of competition.
Especially on television, right?
Especially in this
Up in this I grew up in this business,
So
on and off, yeah. And to this day, it breaks my heart how competitive we were talking about that. It's mostly, I think, women, and I hate saying that. It breaks my heart to say that. I think they're worse than men. I don't know if you agree with me. They look at each other constantly as competition. Like, why does she get that? Why did I like? As opposed to like, let's unite forces. If a job is good for you, it's because it's yours. If a job is good for me, it's because it's mine.
I love that
and
you're
maybe
saying
something
that.
is good for both of us. But it breaks my heart how they're always like on each other's throats as opposed to like, joining forces.
I'm glad you say that, because what's ours is ours. But I really do feel like for me, like in my faith, I ask, I pray, I manifest what's in my divine right, right? So I want what's mine. I don't want what's not mine. I don't want what somebody else's. But I do believe in the power of collective energy. And you're much younger than we are, but what I would tell you, and I would tell my own daughters, no, it's there's power when you realize that we're better together, that we raise our average, and that collective energy will shift you into a more powerful space. I know that to be true. That's why I work with women. That's why I believe in this she tribe. That's why I love the sisterhood circle. I try to teach that to my daughters. It's like, we're all here for a moment, right? And we're all, I think, in charge of who comes in and out of our lives, and editing our lives, and surrounding ourselves with people who are positive, that want what's in our divine right, that want what's best for us, that celebrate us. I celebrate my friends. I celebrate other women. I celebrate possibilities, power, happiness, change. Like, I celebrate all of these energies, and I have too much to do than to compete with anybody in my life.
No, 1,000,000%. I agree. I agree with you, and that's how I live my life. I just want, like.
Have you always been like that?
Yes, because I feel if I can leave a legacy behind, I want to be able, everything I do, no matter what kind of work I do, is about empowering women. And we're gonna get there, because we're gonna talk about social media and how it's been affecting people. But even before social media, I think I have to send, like, something good. It's because we have the communication channels open. So in a way, I feel it's my obligation, because I know there are a lot of young girls that look at our work, that look at our social media. A lot of women out there who are, because I was in an abusive marriage. I was married for 14 years. And I feel now maybe there's somebody out there who is in a position that I was, and they don't know how to, gain forces and get out.
I think you're
so
right.
I feel I need to keep sending the message of positivity, and we are stronger together.
I think you're right. You grew up in the entertainment business. I started my career in the entertainment business, and then I shifted into this wellness space. And sometimes people are like, how did that happen, and why did that happen? And very similar to what you're saying, for me, it's an act of service. So for me, I feel called to do it, and I love it, but I also feel like it's sort of a gift, and it's a give back for me with other women. And in doing that, this year, I'm really focusing on, and I'm actually writing a workshop called Soul Service, and it's about being in service to ourselves. So in being, if you can just entertain this concept for a minute, we can explore this, but if you entertain the possibility of being in service to yourself, because we're in service to others, especially as women, all the time. I'm a mom. I'm always serving. I'm always giving. My dogs, it's my man, it's my kids, it's everybody, it's my students, it's every single person that comes into my life. Everybody's tapping a little bit of your life force, right? So I like being in service. It's my own problem. I love it. But when we learn how to be in service to ourselves, how to serve ourselves, how to serve our soul, our spirit, our self-care, how to fill our own cup up, I'm like twice the superhero.
Oh yeah, it's life-changing.
But I didn't know that as a younger woman.
Me neither.
I didn't know the
Same,
value of being in service to myself. So like when I teach yoga, I thank everyone for allowing me to be in service to them. But then I encourage them and invite them. I challenge them to learn how to be in service to themselves, like you coming to class today and diving into it and doing something hard. It's not easy what we did out there. It's freaking hard.
No, it's freaking hard.
You're
No.
in service to yourself,
Yeah.
to change your body, to feed your soul, to listen to your heartbeat, to slow down,
Yeah.
to change, to
It's
listen.
freaking hard, but when you're done, you're like, oh, I'm so happy I did it.
Because
Like
the other
best
side of
feeling in the
fitness. That's why
world. Yeah.
people always say, how do you do it? I go, because I know it's on the other side of
It's
it.
the self-care, self-love, but we're gonna get there. So, but I have to finish this conversation because I know so many people are gonna be mad at me if I don't.
Okay.
So you did Dancing with the Stars for a few seasons.
I did 8 seasons.
8 seasons. That's a few years, right?
It was a lot. We did 2 seasons a year, so it was almost 4 or 5 years.
And then I know the media was all over you when they let you go from the job.
Yeah. You know, it was unexpected.
It wasn't
And
expected.
I want to talk about it because there's huge lessons in going through this. I don't mind calling it fired. People are like, well, your contract was up and it was a renegotiation. It's very complicated. For me, in and of itself, I wasn't there anymore. I was let go, fired, call it what you want.
Right.
I never needed to bullshit my way around it with the media. It is what it is. I went from having the greatest gig on television, the greatest gig of, well, I guess I would argue that Wild On was pretty cool. But it was an amazing experience in the ballroom. And then all of a sudden, in one moment, in an instant, it all went away, like, went away.
They said we're not renewing your contract.
I was driving to school with my kids in the car. My dressing room was being painted. Like, we were gearing up for the season. That's the entertainment business. And it was sort of like, I'm like, wait, what? So it was that moment of, holy shit, my life just took a hard left. Deep breath, right? Now what do I do? And I really approached that from I'd like to think I'm grounded and I'm spiritual in my process, but I also believe that things come along and rock us and rattle us and pivot for reasons. And it was a time in my life where I think I needed change. Would I have loved to continue there? Yeah, I would be lying if I said that I wasn't. But it was probably time for a shift. I just finished 8 seasons. It was an amazing run. And it was time for me to explore other things. And I didn't know what I was going to do, to be honest.
When
and
it
that's
happens,
the scary
it
part.
hurts, right? Especially when it's such a fabulous job, high profile, you're making good money, you're on TV. But at the same time, because I'm always like that, I'm always the optimist, I know too much. I think maybe the cheesy things happen for a reason, because maybe other windows are going to open into your life to bring you to where you are today.
It's the concept we know that's so easy. When the door closes, okay, we know all that. But I'm like, fuck, now what?
Yeah, I know,
what
now like, fuck, I want to stay. But I have to ask you this tough question, and if you don't want to answer, but I think everybody asked, and many years later people still send this question. Do you think, or do you know, or do you think it's true that they didn't renew your contract because they wanted to bring a younger woman there? Because to me, when I heard that rumor, like, they gotta be, I swear lots of them, they gotta be fucking kidding me. I didn't want to believe that.
You know, it's interesting. Dancing with the Stars has an audience of grandmas. My mom's friends watch Dancing with the Stars. A younger generation, maybe not so much unless you're in the ballroom world.
Right.
Athletes, big following in the sports world. I actually think they chose Erin Andrews because she was a sportscaster.
Oh,
and
she was on ESPN.
It married 2 worlds. She also had a lot of controversy at that time because of some social media.
I remember that
really
story very well.
tragic things, tragic things that were going on, which a network will serve themselves in sort of publicity.
She was in the news a lot.
Could be. I never really thought about it as a younger person, because then you segue after her into Tyra Banks, right? So what did that look like? Was that ethnicity? Was that culture?
Yeah, I don't know.
There are so many ways to look at it. Rather than me trying to figure that out, I brought it back inward, and I thought, okay, now what am I going to do? And it really allowed me to sort of put the war paint on and roll my sleeves up and go, what am I going to do now? Am I going to go create a show? Am I going to go do daytime? Am I going to start a business? I didn't know what to do. And it was a really great exercise of exploration, and not easy. It's like starting out in the business. You hear no 99 times, more than that. I was lucky that I heard 1 in 100, but you really have to have, guts and have strength and have a backbone. And I was really blessed. I think that I was grounded in my family, and I was grounded in other things that really matter, that don't come and go and that don't go away. You know, what I do in the entertainment business, I've always loved. I love what I do. But I had a real foundation that probably saved me, or I would have drowned in the,
like,
you know,
it happens to a
the
lot of
Oprah
people,
man.
right? Like, it happens.
Yeah.
And I get asked that all the time because while I was married, I barely worked, to the point that I didn't work anymore because my husband didn't want me to work. So he convinced me to stop doing everything that I loved doing. So now that I'm back, I hear people say all the time in Hollywood, like, oh, you know, they don't hire women over 30, they don't hire women over 40, there's nothing for me to do. I don't believe in it, because I think we open our own doors.
I don't believe
what
in
do
that.
you think?
It's a big conversation. I love the depth of this conversation. I love the depth of it in these different walks of life. So please, you know, chime in on this too. I don't believe in that, but I do really, really, really understand the culture of the industry of entertainment. By that I mean, I host live television shows, and I went from being a sex symbol to being a ballroom princess to now being in my 50s and changing in my life as a woman and embracing it and owning it and really understanding that. What I know is that I know where my talent lies and those opportunities. So if there's a new live, hot, hip live show, it's probably not me. It's going to be a younger, poppier, probably ethnic, and probably a younger, hipper personality. I don't know that I even, it's funny that you're asking that, I'm thinking now. I never really equated that to age. I equated it just to the person that serves that role best.
Right.
And so I've had
Makes
to really
sense.
embrace
Makes
who I
sense.
am as a woman.
Yeah.
But I also believe in the ebbs and flow of the business, meaning sometimes there's a pause and you can't get arrested, like literally for years. So what do? Do you go back to the drawing board and go, oh, holy shit, what's going to become of me now? Or do you just play the pause and do other creative things and then know that it's all coming back around? So I just have a lot of faith in that.
Same.
But in the meantime, I started other businesses and I really love what I'm doing now. So, you know, it's
and
funny.
you're awesome
It's funny.
at it.
Thank
You're
you.
awesome at it.
Thank
You're
you. But our age
incredible.
is a number. Our age is
I
a number.
agree.
And if we're going to fight it as women, we're in
Yes.
big trouble. I will say that.
I agree.
We're in big trouble. If you're going to try to look like that 30-year-old woman that you once were, you're in big trouble.
And I think that's a big mistake a lot of women make. I think you need to embrace your life and what you are, and live healthy, take good care of yourself. But yeah, you embrace it because we're alive. You know? It's all about being alive.
It's so
and
true.
healthy.
Even your life and the challenges that you went through in your marriage made you who you are. So what do we bring to this table? Like, who is the woman that I'm bringing to the table today?
Yeah.
She's a wiser, more seasoned, I want to say better woman than I brought to the table 10 years ago. She's different.
100%.
She's different. She might not be as much fun. No, I'm kidding.
I feel no. And I think you are. I think I can speak for both of us. Well, she's never
How
been
old are
married.
you?
But
Do you mind?
No.
Is this top secret?
No, 35.
You're 35.
Yeah.
Oh, it's good to be 35.
yeah, but
But it's
know
good to
what?
be in my 50s.
I tell you, I've never been happier. I never felt healthier. I've never felt more like in tune with my body,
Good.
my sexuality, my health. I feel independent. Being independent is empowering. Like we kick some ass. I talk to Maj about that all the time. Like most of our clients in our agency, they're men, and they're like crybabies. And I'm like, we take care so much more than
Babysitting
this
at all.
man.
Oh my God.
Right, and
You
look
know-
at you, like you're running like this business and you're teaching everybody. I think we're strong,
We're
and that's
strong.
empowering.
I love that you say that, and I always hate to repeat myself, but I'm going to remind you of this concept, because we're so strong and we're such badasses, and it's such an amazing time to be a woman, that there is a bittersweetness to it, because we are powerful, because we give and give. You talk about men. We are. It's different though. But because we give and we give and we give, and we can
we
manage
love
it
men,
all.
but we're stronger.
I love men. I love men. Some of the work that I've been doing lately, which I'm going to invite you to a workshop in the teepee, is that we've been really exploring the polarity of masculine and feminine energy.
Oh yeah,
It's light and
that is
dark.
so
It's sun and
huge,
moon.
yeah.
It's yin and yang, and I'm
Yes.
obsessed with that, because
I love it.
we're all strong. So we
Yes.
could very easily be misinterpreted for
all the time.
Do you believe?
boss bitch,
Yeah.
independence,
Yeah.
ego, all of these things that
Yes.
couldn't be further from the truth.
Yeah.
I don't feel masculine, but I feel
Yeah.
strong.
Yeah.
I've been to I went on 25 dates last year.
Okay. Was it fun? We're like, oh, tell me about that.
And you know, and
Girl,
this
that's
is
fun.
like I got all these feedback
Okay.
that you're masculine energy.
Because she's a boss bitch.
And you
yeah.
know, and I'm like, oh my god, I need to switch, you know.
The energy.
Can I-
yeah.
okay,
switch up
can
the
I-
energy. I'll
Okay,
bring my
guys,
feminine
Can we
hold
open
that
this
thought.
up?
you
Hold
know?
that thought. Hold that
Okay.
thought. We're gonna take a 2-minute break so we can pay a few bills and thank our sponsors. The girl pays her bills,
That's
by
right.
the way.
That's right, boss
All
bitch.
about women empowerment.
Yes.
I must say, like, you want to drive me crazy? Let's not even talk about sugar babes, a whole other episode. Women have to be independent and pay their own bills. Number one. But we're gonna talk about this, the masculine and feminine energy.
Yes.
Talk about how you got into wellness, and then we're gonna poke a little bit in your personal dating
Yeah.
life because it's really fun and exciting. to
Yes,
talk about
and
that.
I have a lot to tell you about this masculine,
Yes.
misinterpreted woman,
Totally, it happens to all of us.
misread woman.
We'll be
Happens
right
to me
back.
all
This
the
is an
time.
insanely inspiring episode here at the home of this gorgeous, gorgeous, talented, and incredibly nice woman,
It's about to get
Brooke
juicy.
Burke. We'll be right back. This is Cat on the Loose, 100% organic. This is what I love. Never edited, never scripted. It's real life. We'll be right back.